Welcome to part two to the previous message regarding this person who just says this person who can't let you go, right? I feel like they still are wanting to come in with some type of love offer. Or maybe this could be a secret admirer, okay? Maybe this could be somebody you're going to come into contact with like 11 months from now or whatever, far away in the future, right? And it makes sense because get yourself together, right? You don't want to get out of something and hop into something else. That was the lesson that some of y'all needed to learn before. Now, I feel like you inspired this person. You could have also made them jealous, or maybe they were jealous of you. The Janae Eco song "Stranger" could be very significant. Or maybe you didn't know this person as much as you thought you did. I feel like you were getting a lot of signs and synchronicities, especially from your divine team. Like you were getting a lot of divine guidance when it came to this connection and when it also came to your individual journey. Okay, this person could be short haired, or maybe you're a short haired person. All right, I feel like when you guys get out of, when you're in no contact, they start talking to you, to other people that you don't really even talk to like that. Or they just start like discussing you with people. Now, it could be in a gossipy, hatred way, or it could be in a bragging about you, or man, I messed up type of energy. Because remember, before we talked about regrets. Now, be mindful that the energy that comes out could be your own energy, or it could be the other person. But since I'm giving the reading to you, I want to just look at it, in that specific way. But by all means, take the message how it resonates. This could have been somebody who you were just laid up with, giving cuddle buddy or whatever. Maybe they threatened you in some type of way, or maybe you were a threat to them, right? Like I said, you shine light on their demons, and some of them people didn't like that, right? Be mindful that this connection was voluntary. Whether you felt like you seen a sign that said go for it, or even if you seen a sign that said don't go for it, regardless, at the end of the day, you choose what you choose in your life. You know what I'm saying? You could see a sign that say don't go for it and go for it. You could see a sign that say go for it and not go for it. So it's like it really all depends on what you do at the end of the day. You can't really blame everything else on external forces outside of yourself, especially when we all have our own personal beliefs. Because say for instance, we could feel like something is a green light, mean go, right? But in reality, that's probably not what is given. So I feel like regardless, something was voluntary. Okay, and it's reminding me of that devil energy that I seen earlier, because sometimes when the devil energy comes out, it's given we choose something even though we know it's not good for us, or whatever the case may be. And I also feel like you were a very committed person, right? But I feel like this person wasn't yet ready to commit. Okay. And then we have estrangement, which is basically not a part of something anymore. So I feel like maybe this person isn't a part of your life anymore. All right. Maybe they could have neglected you in some type of way. This person could have been very desperate when it came to you. All right. Entertainment could be significant. Maybe this connection was entertaining, or you were just entertaining it. Maybe it was a distraction from things. Vice versa, you were a distraction for this person. Maybe this person just could have been a joke as well. Something about comedian or something like that could be significant. Maybe you're a funny person. They liked your personality or whatever. But also dancers, musicians, and performers could be very significant. Maybe you're the entertainment, honey. Okay? Maybe you're the jack of all trades. And it's no better than you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you are ready to pursue life by yourself again. I feel like this was just one teeny tiny mistake, right? Maybe this was even one of your favorite mistakes, or vice versa. But I feel like you were protected regardless, okay? I feel like you really were, all right? And we already talked about how this person couldn't handle criticism and all of that. I feel like some of you guys were a bit delirious as well with this up in the clouds energy. Maybe you couldn't see something as clearly until you got into the space of getting your heart broken, right? So father figures or baby daddies could be really significant, especially because we're pulling more towards like romance. Confirm this Knight of Cups. Scorpio, Aries, Sagittarius energy could be significant. Yeah, ascension. I feel like this person, they just brought you into like ascension, or you helped them ascend in some type of way. Like I said, you're this earth angel, divine, masculine, feminine energy, and you come into somebody's life who didn't really know nothing about that, and you help them see things differently. You help bring them into a new light, etc. So in reality, they should be thanking you, but instead they can't take constructive criticism. They out here You know what I'm saying? Just ill. Ill. But yeah, I feel like you may have experienced some type of awakening with the judgment here. Some type of aha moment. Like maybe you feel like this person was for you and now you know for certainly that they're not. Okay? Yeah. The lovers. And then we got the most high. So let's see. And I said in this video to shout out to Intuitive Kev because this deck had came in today, but I ordered the wrong deck. I was trying to get the oracle cards, and he told me I don't have to send this one back, and then he will send me the deck that I meant to purchase. So I appreciate that so much. But it comes with a little guidebook, and he also added a few cards in here that doesn't, it's not necessarily tarot, hence the up in the clouds card and the most high energy, etc. So I'm gonna read what that most high energy says. But before I get into that, I had like 4 packages in the mail, right? Endings bring new beginnings. And when I tell you when it's a for sure ending, because sometimes you be saying you're gonna end something and then you turn around and be right back invested. So I feel like for some of y'all are seriously done, and this may be pushing you into a connection where you're really gonna connect with your true divine counterpart or your true twin flame, because half of these people were false soulmates, false twin flames, right? Now maybe it had potential to be some type of soulmate union, but it takes 2. Some of these people were low-key the hidden enemy, were low-key the energy vampire, and regardless of you being in this ascended energy, like a lot of people can be for you, but you are not for a lot of people. Okay? So, but yeah, I say this to say this is 2025. You add those numbers up together, it makes the number 9. This is the year of the snake, the year of completion. So I feel like you guys are completing a lot of things. All right? And I feel like you could be seeing the number 10, and 10 signifies endings. But know that endings do bring new beginnings, and that's why I mentioned how my deck came today. Because when you come into this space of endings, new beginnings will arise. I can't be really specific on what else came in the mail, honey, but know that when these things, child, when them endings was ending, them new beginnings came not even an hour later. I'm telling you. All right? So the Most High, it talks about God, the divine, right? And also divine intervention. So I feel like there was some type of divine intervention here. Okay, but this also could just be representing God. So like I said, I feel like God was letting you do what you do. You have free will or whatever, but regardless, you were still being protected. And I feel like you also were getting signs to pull more back into your own energy and to heal and come into balance instead of, indulging in this connection. I feel like both of you guys were encouraged to do that, but maybe that didn't happen. Yep. And then I'm getting that song by her, Could Have Been, featuring Bryson Tiller. Look, this could have been happiness, joyful, happy families, 8-11 on the clock. But instead, it probably turned out to you going solo dolo, nurturing yourself, making money for yourself, etc. Coming into this end of, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping with the enemy for some of y'all. But yeah, I feel like you are still going to get that wish fulfillment. You are still going to get that happy family. For some of you guys, you're going to have a little girl. And don't believe in the hype where people say, oh, if you have a girl as a child, that means you haven't learned your lesson. Sometimes it do be seeming that way. But I guarantee you, regardless, girl or boy, it's a blessing regardless. And you don't have to look at things in a negative aspect. Be mindful that regardless of external factors like beliefs or what you feel a sign is, regardless, you are making your own decisions and you are choosing to believe in certain things, whether it resonates or not. So remember that. That's why I love the saying that I created. Anything that's negative is false. 911 on the clock. All right, confirm this 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups energy. Yeah, I feel like this is still going to be promised to you for sure. Look, 5 of Pentacles. This person was lacking a lot of things. In order for this to come about, it takes 2. Some of you guys were ready, even though you probably had your own trauma and whatever the case may be, but you didn't bring baggage, though. The thing is, these other people did because they weren't in an energy where they were ready, So they fumbled. They literally fumbled. Okay, Taurus energy could be very significant. But yeah, y'all chunked up the deuce. What's that song? I chunked up the deuce from the salt of the night.